Paul Donovan had nothing left but rage. Every lead was a dead end. Every person he interrogated, bribed, or threatened had the same answer: nothing. It was like Isabel never existed. But he knew better. Someone had wiped her away, erased her from the world like she was a mistake. And Paul was drowning in it. He barely slept. He barely ate. He burned bridges, pissed off the wrong people, made enemies where there were once allies. The police department grew wary of him, the whispers getting louder. He's out of control. He's going to get himself killed. Maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing. But Paul didn't care. Then Manu called him into his office. Manu sat behind his desk, arms crossed, a heavy silence stretching between them. He didn't offer Paul a seat. "You need to stop." Paul tilted his head. "Stop what?" "You know what." Paul smiled, but there was nothing behind it. "I don't take orders anymore." Manu exhaled sharply, his patience thinning. "Paul, listen to me. You're digging into something that doesn't need to be dug up. Let it go." Paul's jaw clenched. "Someone murdered her. She was just a therapist," Manu said flatly. Something inside Paul nearly snapped. That's when he saw it, the missing files. A thick, familiar folder sitting in the corner of Manu's desk, partially hidden beneath a stack of reports. Paul didn't react. He just nodded, pretended to let it sink in, and walked out. But that night, he came back. The lock on Manu's office was a joke. Paul was inside within seconds, moving through the darkness like a ghost. He found the files immediately, but it was the cassette tape beside them that made his stomach twist. A recording. He pressed play. Laughter. Not just Manu's, but others, voices Paul recognized. Then a voice he wasn't expecting. "Isabel. Please, please don't do this." Paul's fingers dug into the desk. Someone, one of the cops, sighed. "You know, we could let you go." Manu's voice cut in. "Just one step, Isabel. One step out that door." Silence. Then quiet, ragged breathing. They had given her a chance. A twisted, cruel game. She had always been afraid of the outside world, and when the moment came, she couldn't take that step. I can't," Isabel whispered. Then a gunshot. The tape ended. Paul stood there, staring at the cassette, his own breath shaking. The world felt unreal, like he had stepped into something worse than his nightmares. The police had killed her. And Manu had tried to bury it. Paul left the office, the files and tape burning a hole in his jacket pocket. By morning, he was gone. The police department was dead to him. Justice was dead to him. Paul disappeared into the underworld, where law and order didn't matter. He found a rising gang, one that welcomed the kind of anger he carried. It didn't take long before he was one of them. And he was good at it. Violence came naturally now. But in the back of his mind, Isabel's voice still lingered. "Act, don't react." She had said it to him once, when he told her about his anger, about the way he always let it take control. She had warned him that if he let rage dictate his life, it would destroy him. And maybe it was. But destruction was all Paul had left. He was coming for Manu. And every single one of them.